Hey guys, welcome to day 9 of the Arcade Spinner live stream for Persona 5 Strikers. Last time we had left off where, we were getting ready to fight, or at least try to fight, Alice Hiiragi. We're not sure what's going to happen next, but we did get some clues into, as far as her seniority in being at the actual school. And right now we're headed back to the hideout to try to change Alice's heart. And, this time I certainly hope that we're actually going to get to a boss battle. And, hopefully no more captain battles or right-hand men. Let's see. And I'm trying to select, party members that are fairly high leveled at this point. I do plan on going back and kind of grinding my way to where I should be level-wise for a more balanced approach. But for right now, we're looking at, Joker and Yusuke Namakoto. And of course, we have Futaba as the navigator. So let's see what we can do this time around. And of course, knowing me, as usual, the paranoia saves are absolutely critical.
Let's get to work. What are you looking for today? Are you sure? Are you sure? Which one?
Okay, so there, looks like Sophie's clearly out of stock for some of the essential HP restorative items that I usually go for. So we're looking pretty okay. I mean, stock-wise. And we're just straight up gonna go to the destination.
Are we sure this is right? I'm not seeing.
I have no doubt. This place gives me the same sensation as when I touched the birdcage.
Think this is what would bring me back here. I may have graduated from here, but it still feels wrong to go in without permission.
Permission granted. I'm still a student here, you know. Still, I had no idea Alice Hiiragi graduated from Shujin.
I didn't either. And I figured a student council president would know better than anyone about celebrity graduates.
Perhaps she had a past here that she wished to erase.
What do you mean?
Those voices we heard in her jail. Those cutting words and that painful cry.
Yeah, it's almost as if she was getting bullied of some sort.
She was one of the instigators or the victim of such bullying. However she experienced it. Left such a gaping wound in her heart that she refuses to even acknowledge the truth of the matter.
And that truth took place right here.
So that's why Shujin has a secret room.
Well, we should get moving. What's next?
We may not be in Shibuya, but this place is still linked to its jail. Inputting the proper Emma keyword should permit access as usual. Okay, let's try it. Everybody ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Keyword, Wonderland.
Keyword successfully entered. Beginning navigation.
Alice in Wonderland.
So, it's a classroom? Is this what a school is like? It's rather different than how the internet makes it appear. The cognitive distortion's really strong here. What's going on?
Hey, look! Ah, a ghost! Are you seriously crying? Ugh, how pathetic. Trying to get us to go easy on you. You tricked him the same way too, didn't you? this? God, you're disgusting. Seriously, why are you still alive?
What?
Do us a favor and die already.
What in the world is this?
What the hell?
Careful, here it comes.
Wait, what? All of a sudden we have to fight something from the past? Who is a shadow?
So, no one wants you around.
Oh shit, what the hell is going on? This thing just flipped out of nowhere.
The room's also
Yeah.
changed. These prison cells.
No time. Here it comes.
There's no time. It's just out of nowhere. Alrighty, well.
We should avoid wasting energy on our attacks. Let's read the enemy's movements and respond in kind.
Okay, looks like it's weak to fire.
Incoming attack! Brace yourself! I'll take care of that one. Alright,
What are you doing that in your mouth like some guy?
What is with this thing?
I don't know. Whatever that thing is, it's horrible.
What the hell's up with this room, too?
Thieves must be sharing from here. It must be hidden somewhere within the cell.
Exactly fit to search for.
That thing certainly has pretty good defense, I'll say that. Oh, God.
It's tough, but it's weak to fire. You can handle this. I'll take care of that one. Oh, nice, Joker. You hit its weakness. Tank said, burn out. Someone's been their nuclear attack.
Yeah, I really need Anne to kind of spice things up on the fire side here.
Combo strike with Devastator. Where that came from.
Alright, I'm surprised I lasted this long on the HP side. Usually for being able to fight something as unexpected as this thing, right? I would imagine that I would lose a good amount of HP in the first round, but of course, I might be speaking too soon here. And there's a lot of these guys as well, the fodder. There it is. Okay, so.
This one, I appreciate it.
Electricity's out of the question.
Did I just heal Ryuji even though he's not even in the fight?
Watch out for sneak attacks, everyone. I'll take care of that one. Alright, following up.
A pretty long battle again. Just like the previous captain fight. Although this one just looks like it's on a whole nother level. This guy just kind of disappears in the ground every once in a while. Okay, so looking pretty okay HP wise. SP wise, we're kind of getting to the bottom here.
Your health is bad. Bingo. That skill discount? Perfection.
That was well played. I am thou. It's up to you.
Leave it to me.
Sure.
That one looks tough. Everyone stay focused.
Yeah, this guy's certainly deadly if you're gonna fight him point blank range a lot of times when he's trying to do all these moves. It's a good idea to kind of switch it up a little bit, move it around. I'm not even, 50% down on the HP side.
Leave it to me.
Pitiful. Give him a dirt nap.
All yours. Yeah.
Look out!
God's working all over the place now. Quit cheating, damn it! Conjurus, Slime, McCoy, Succubus, Arsene, Persona!
He's also weak to Curse.
Whoa, that was sweet!
Your stamina's getting low. Watch closely how you fight.
Oh, it's showtime? Okay. Obviously, I better time that right.
Showtime! Arsene! Here!
Of course, it didn't take off as much HP as I would have hoped it would, but you gotta work with that. We have no choice.
One. Exploit its weakness to curse.
You're mine!
Gotta exploit those weaknesses. I'll take care of that one.
Done!
Did she really go through all this? There were some truly terrible things said in the classroom as well.
Why Alice rode so far back to record from her time at school.
That one looks tough. Everyone stay focused.
Persona! Come! Rabbit Step!
Skill connect. Great technique. I'll take care of that one. All right, bowling up. There. Mean that combo strike was devastating. Not done yet. Con Persona. Time for this. Upon our this.
Right, she does not have enough SP. As long as I did take to actually make that decision just now.
It's tough, but it's weak to fire. You can handle it.
Please allow me. I accept. Switching up. Sure.
The enemy raised their attack power. You do not want to get hit right now.
Now! Switch out!
Okay, got it.
I'm not sure if I actually have a debuff.
Fix it. It's yours.
Yeah, I got hit with that one.
Okay. There. This one.
So I'm slowly running out of HP items here.
Keep a safe distance.
Let's go. Persona, you're mine.
Thanks, Joker. You hit its weakness.
That is why you're the leader. Please allow me. I accept.
Fair warning. This one's gonna be rough.
Much thanks.
Here we go. One round. That changes.
It's up to you. I'll do it. Take this.
Bingo. That skill just now?
Of course, I'm relying on Joker's SP here. Since the others are kind of out of luck.
This is wrapping up. Easy victory ahead.
Please allow me. I accept.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I don't do things like cleave or anything like that, since that actually uses HP as opposed to SP. And it's kind of a risk for me right now.
Stamina's almost gone. This is your chance. It's showtime.
No, was that too soon?
Are set. Here.
No.
Allow me. I accept. Switching up.
I'll try.
Quite a long battle. I mean, he still has about 25% HP left. And I totally expect for this thing to be able to do some kind of a, you know, additional buff near the end of the fight. And I think... Okay, so Makoto is pretty much done here. Probably a good idea to give her a good bit of HP. And looks like I'll have to be careful because at this point I only have one more of these HP items, and I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Ravage them.
Gotta exploit those weaknesses. Keep it up. How about a play? Electricity out of the question. Remember
Let's
that.
go. You're mine.
I'm not done. Joker got in a follow-up attack.
Persona.
Bingo. That skill just now? Perfection. Simply astonishing.
No, not of SP. Yeah. So I'm pretty much fresh out of SP here. On the offensive,
Fox had to withdraw. Someone fix it.
Yusuke is done. Yeah, this is super challenging.
This one. Hey! It's tough, but it's weak to fire. You can handle this.
I heard you actually confess your feelings to him. Look, so fucking gross. Just like obsessed with guys now or something. It's not like you'd ever make it to public. In fact, I think I'll take him off your hands.
So all of this bullying was over some affairs of the heart.
What a
Is it showtime? It's showtime.
to Alice.
The enemy's getting weaker.
So it's completely neck and neck here on the HP side of the thing.
Whoa, you made this look easy.
I'll do it.
Rampage.
Persona! Pixie! Jekyll Pixie! His power!
You guys have burned a lot of stamina. Don't overdo it, okay? Go kick some butt out there!
Not looking too good. All right.
Scare 'em with wind or nuclear attacks!
I'm gonna flip out if I die at this point. With this guy at like almost no HP left.
Just a trash mob. Easy victory ahead!
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Finally. Oh my god.
Hang on. Something's up.
That was crazy.
What do we got here?
What? What?
Lockkeeper taken down.
What was that rumbling?
The birdcage in the jail is now unlocked. We will be able to access it.
For real?
It appears our most recent target held the key.
In other words, we defeated the warden guarding the key.
A warden in Alice's memories. A key.
What are you going on about?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking how many differences there are from the palaces.
Good point. The palaces don't have any rooms like these, or wardens guarding keys in hidden locations.
It's as if the more we learn, the messier the situation gets.
If it weren't for Sophie, we wouldn't have even made it here.
Have I been helpful to the Phantom Thieves?
Mm-hmm. You know it.
Praise accepted.
Well, we'll praise you all you want later. We've got a birdcage to bust open.
True. We have one last task in the real world first. Let's send Alice the calling card and take back those desires.
It's finally time for the calling card after all this.
Okay, all that's left is send in the calling card. What should it say?
We're after the desires that Alice is seizing from the people whose hearts she changed, right? Then don't we have to write something like, "We shall take back the desires you've seized"? Smart. Using the same logic that works on treasures is probably our best shot.
Once the desire takes form, we can steal it. If we return the victims their own desires,
Everyone should return to normal.
So, what'll happen to Alice then?
Well, she should be having a change of heart and confessing soon after.
Actually, that's not set in stone. What we're stealing this time are the desires that Alice seized from others. This isn't her own desire or ambition. Or like the treasure we found in palaces. There's no way of knowing whether or not Alice's heart will be changed.
even if we rescue her victims, without a change of heart in Alice, this will just turn into a pointless cycle.
But if the calling card works, her desire will manifest inside the birdcage. That creates a high probability that we'll encounter Alice's shadow there.
We did cause quite a scene destroying the lock.
Whether through words or fists, don't we still have the opportunity to change her heart via her shadow?
Then let's do it. Let's take her head on. Oh, sorry. I know that's the dangerous approach, but if you guys are all up for it, I want to rescue Alice too, not just her victims. Alice said she wanted to be a ray of light that could inspire people suffering through life.
You mean when she was on TV? I don't know if she really meant all that.
Well, I do. I get why she said it, because of all the bullying in her past. I mean, doesn't it seem like we saw part of Alice's trauma in the secret room?
Trauma? It's like an invisible wound in a person's heart. It comes from living through painful experiences. A wound in a heart.
Maybe that trauma's the whole reason the jail formed.
Trauma distorted Alice's heart, giving birth to the jail. That is very similar to Palace Generation. I've got to...
But how is that trauma relevant to Alice's current behavior?
This is just a hunch, but I think she sees what she's doing as some kind of revenge against the kinds of girls who treated her badly.
Stealing someone's dude right in front of her as revenge to Alice? Oh, that's pretty sick.
But her Shadow's operation is way too massive for that to be all. She just has too many victims already. What if she simply kept escalating because no one was there to stop her? Becoming a monarch must create an awful amount of distortion.
All that only makes me want to help Alice more. If her heart's grown that distorted, then I want her to at least remember how it feels being a ray of light for somebody. Is she beyond helping at this point? I don't know. But there has to be someone who at least tries. We can't just abandon Alice.
Oh, Lady On.
Yeah, I mean, Anne is pretty sensible about this subject.
Thanks.
I'm with you. Let's do it.
No objections here either. However, should we engage her in combat, we must avoid taking her life at all costs.
Absolutely. That's out of the question.
Best case scenario, just talk her out of it.
Guys, do you think I could write the calling card this time? There's something I need to tell her personally.
Yeah, Anne's pretty into this one. This specific case.
Thanks. It'll be great.
Writing a calling card? Need any help?
Ooh, you can help me with the phrasing, Sophia.
Awesome. All we gotta figure out now is the delivery.
I may have a plan for that. This is a special reunion of the Phantom Thieves. We gotta do this right. Hey.
Make sure to get everything wrapped up tonight. In other words, I mean, I'm gonna assume this is a confirmation that the next fight is literally and finally Alice Hiiragi. And seeing from the previous fight, right, with this lockkeeper, I want to say I should probably prep a little bit, on the jail side here, as opposed to just kind of charging in blindly, right? I think the last fight was a good indicator that I don't think I'm ready yet for the next fight, considering it was just straight up neck and neck. We were all down to the last bit of HP, and it wasn't looking too pretty. So with that being said, first we will focus on the bond skills. I feel like I always go back to this one, right? It's like the ultimate, most important one, HP. Like increasing max HP of all party members seems like the right thing to do. At the same time, SP is important as well. and this one's really good. I mean, they're all quite favorable. I'll go for the SP one. And I think that's just about all we can use. And obviously save one more time before we go back into the jail. And of course, you know, should probably be trying to organize a little better here, right? Like Haru, Ryuji, and Morgan are clearly underleveled as opposed to some of the others like Anne, Yusuke, and Joker.
Get to work.
And since we can't really remove Joker from the party, might as well just keep leveling him. I mean, no sense in, you know, disregarding him from this grinding venture.
Yeah, let's do this.
And I was looking up some of this stuff over the weekend, you know, on the internet, as far as what people actually think of the overall difficulty with this game. And I learned that I'm not the only one, apparently, thankfully. There's a crap load of people online who have, you know, not necessarily complained, but, you know, have claimed that even on easy mode, like, it's giving them a good run for their money, difficulty-wise, which says a lot about the actual game itself. And I mean, I certainly like the you know, slightly uphill difficulty, considering the fact that I've just been playing on normal so far. And yeah.
Now's our chance to ambush them. This is our chance. Fight them. Let's make this move.
Ravage them! Strike!
I mean, I'm still kind of sort of getting my butt kicked here, right? So that clearly speaks volumes about what I need to do before going into the Alice Hiiragi battle. Or it could be just me being lazy here. A little bit of both. Yeah, so that's what we want to focus on. At least someone leveling up, right? Either every fight, every other fight, and I think this map, this area here on this map, Shibuya Jail Station West exit. I think this is the most you know, viable option as far as grinding goes, and of course, for the sake of time. Probably a good idea to just kind of go back and forth here from jail, going back into jail. yes, it's quite tedious to actually do this over and over, but again, we have no option in order to quickly heal up free of cost.
Let's get to work.
Although one thing I can do next time, instead of quickly jumping out of there, is to try to, use the auto recover functionality, so we're not using up items, and we're using SP instead. And then once we're both low on HP and SP, we can kind of get out of there, do a reset. Again, same flow, same grind.
Now then, let's begin, shall we?
And very interesting that these items just completely
To my interests.
respawn each and every time. I feel like that's something that's easily, it can be exploited. But again, it's something that's trivial. It's not even worth that much, so.
Persona! Arsene! Circuit! McCoy! Slime! Andres! Silky! Jack-o'-lantern! Pixie! Jack-o'-lantern!
Nice, Joker! You hit it big. Keep it going. Say your prayers.
Nice.
We'll do it.
Guess that's that.
Alright, on to the next.
So this time I'll use... Everyone's already at max HP, so there's no need to recover, right? So maybe a faster way to just say, okay, go to another checkpoint and come back to the west exit. Just trying to reduce the amount of time going back and forth between the real world and the Shibuya jail. Sorry.
Arrived. Where to next?
But see, they don't really respawn unless you go back to the real world. So that's, there's no escaping it.
Let's stop here for today. Let's get to work.
Yes, let's go.
We're here. Better get moving. Oh, I wonder what.
And one other thing I wanted to kind of point out as I was thinking about it just now. With Persona and many other games, right? RPGs in general.
That shadow hasn't seen us.
It's not just about grinding either. So, a lot of times just kind of thinking on the spot, knowing the enemy in advance, you'll tend to do a lot better as far as exploiting weaknesses. So you can be underleveled, technically, right? And still kick some butt. and not do this, obviously. Okay. See what I did there? I completely forgot to lock on the enemy. So that was very lame. Ridiculous.
That was really good, you guys.
Let's go on ahead. Okay, let's get out of here.
But at least someone is able to level up almost every time. That's what we're trying to get at here. And I think I'm trying to get to overall at least level maybe 15 for just about all the party members. And I think Joker will slightly be higher than that to kind of offset the, you know, having kind of like a lead role. So, you know, 2 more levels to go overall. And last but not least, I'll focus on Sophia. So,
Let's get to work.
but I don't want to have to do this for each and every, you know, major boss fight. So I'm certainly hoping that I'll get better about, you know, what attacks I should be using. And another example that I have not used is that technicals attack, right? I seem to be ignoring all that completely in the midst of battle. And with this game, a lot of times, you're constantly looking around from one point to another on the screen, looking for those, you know, one more opportunities or, you know, just to kind of get more hits in.
I can see it.
They don't see us. I think we can go for an ambush. Let's make this go.
Persona! Take it!
Gotta exploit those weaknesses. Out of the way, Joker. Got him now. Just keep it up.
You're mine! Persona!
Let me at him. Joker got in a follow-up attack.
It's over! Alright, Joker!
There you go. So, you know, now it's Joker leveling up. So it's possible I could, you know, end up at
Okay, let's get out of here.
level 18 or so by the time we're done.
Let's see.
And at some point, you know, when I have a good bit of set of weapons, it'll be nice to kind of cycle through them, choose one that's appropriate for who or what we're about to fight, and you know, kind of optimize our builds.
Let's get to work. Okay, let's start the mission. Move out! That shadow hasn't noticed us. Now's our chance. Time for a royal beatdown. Great. Shujin.
Let's go. Persona! You're mine.
Don't forget his follow-up attack!
Take it.
Not over there! Let him got it! That's the enemy's hard enough! Place Mira with fire attack! This'll be good!
There you go.
Oh, I've learned a new skill. You call that a fight? I nearly fell asleep. Let's stop here for today. Let's get to work. Okay, we can do this.
It's a good thing that the loading times, I will say, is not as bad as lots of other games we've seen. Very important during times like this when you have to go back and forth between dungeons and the real world.
Keep it together, everyone.
Okay, I have no idea why I hit triangle as opposed to circle.
Finish him off.
Don't forget his follow-up attack!
Keep it going.
Let's go. You're mine.
Keep it going. This new
Now Moda, level 13.
That was nothing.
Okay, time to pack it in for now.
So, getting there, kind of, sort of.
Let's get to work. Alright, keep your guard up. Let's keep moving ahead. Where do we go from here?
Excellent. You're within range.
This ought to be easy.
You're mine. Strike. Take it.
Don't forget his follow-up attack! It's tough, but it's weak to fire!
Yeah, she manages to freeze me and do all these crazy status effects as soon as I get up. Like, right after recovery.
call it a day. Let's get to work.
Okay, let's do this.
So in several of the earlier personas, I did have a habit of kind of being over leveled. Not necessarily due to the fact that I was always trying to grind my way through the dungeons, and you know, I had no desire of being like super OP for being up against some of the enemies, but I feel like it's sort of just happened due to the fact that I was always trying to explore each and every part of, you know, every floor of the dungeon, every room, all aspects of it. So in turn, I would find a bunch of items, you know,
Might be of interest.
that I would be selling off. And before I, you know, even got to halfway of the game, I would end up with more than enough money, more than enough experience, high leveled.
Perhaps I should be taking notes.
Grab it, Zach. Let's go. Let's go. Take it. You're mine.
Super got in a follow-up attack.
It's over. Whoa, that was sweet.
There we go.
Way to go, guys.
So Mona is now, what, 14? Level 13.
Let's go on ahead.
Sweet, let's bounce.
Let's get to work. Okay, leave the support to me.
I feel like Mona and Haru are probably my least used characters so far.
Keep it together, everyone. I don't think it's noticed us yet. Should we go for it?
Oh, you're screwed now.
Yes, this won't take long.
Take this.
Keep it up!
Almost inside. Few enemies left. Super got in a follow-up attack. It's weak to electricity.
Let's go.
Keep your guard up. Gotta exploit those weaknesses. Laser speed for ya.
Way to go, guys.
Okay, let's move. Okay, let's get out of here.
And, you know, there very well could be a better spot for grinding. I just don't recall at the moment, but
All right, let's get going.
I think this is the fastest one that I could think of where, like I said earlier, all you do is just warp to it. It's right there.
And so the adventure continues. Where to?
Check out that shadow. We can totally wreck it from here.
This is our chance. Wipe them out. I'm sure we can win it.
You're mine. Let's go. Take it.
Rather avoid those weaknesses. Leader of the Phantom Thieves for ya. I'm sensing less enemies. Let's finish this. Keep it going. Super got his follow-up attack. Time to wrap it up.
Over.
A lot of times, if you time it right, you're gonna get these combos down to the wire, and you know you're gonna end up getting 0 damage in battle, and it's just gonna work out very well for you.
Alrighty, then we're heading back.
So I think someone just had leveled up. Okay, it was actually Mona. So either way, Ryuji, Mona, and Haru still have one more level to go before they're at least at 15.
Let's get to work. Okay, leave the support to me. I'll do my best. I think we can sneak up on it. Okay. This is a piece of cake.
You're mine.
Keep it going. What's left? Just a little more. Time to split those weaknesses. You know I can count on you.
Get your ass inside.
Strong enemy, just like that.
So Haru's at 15.
You call that a fight?
Might serve us well to regroup.
So we're actually going to call it a day here with this live stream. I think this is as far as I want to get. I know I was trying to get to level 15 for everyone across the board. But at least we're closer to it, to where it's, you know, close enough. And in the next fight, at least with Alice Hiiragi, I may very well end up going with Anne, Makoto, and Yusuke. Just because of the fact that I feel like I'm more comfortable playing those characters. But at the same time, I may want to think about leveling up Sophie at some point as well, because I think what we've learned about her so far, that she's a pretty good buffer for the team. Like, she can buff the characters as well as debuff enemies, I think. And that's something that'll definitely help us in the long run, especially for future enemies that are going to be even more insane, right? So we'll definitely keep that in mind. And, you know, with the next live stream, which will be tomorrow, we'll go ahead and tackle Alice Hiiragi and hopefully not get my butt kicked. So anyway, thanks for tuning in today, and we will see you tomorrow.